And we're back.
Welcome back to the Backseat Banter Podcast. I'm Jake.
And I'm Angelo. We'll get our normal disclaimer out of the way. Our opinions do not reflect the opinions of the DoD or the U.S. Navy. Go donate to the national parks. And yeah, thanks for watching.
We got it. All right.
Dude.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I posted on our Instagram story yesterday apologizing for the hiatus. We both got busy. I went out of town.
I went out of town.
You went out of town.
Boy meets girl. Boy falls for girl.
Yeah.
You know.
The usual.
The usual.
Yeah, dude. How's it going? Give us a little life update,
Freaking,
there, bud.
So I had to work. I had to travel for work for a few days. That really sucked. I went to my least favorite place. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Then I went to probably one of my favorite places, Shenandoah National Park.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. It rained like most of the time we were there, but it was still really, really good.
You know what I just realized? You can keep talking.
Yeah.
The camera probably doesn't see us because of the laptop.
Yeah, that's fine. We just move it over.
I'll just...
Boom.
Good to go.
So,
Good to go.
yeah. It rained. Me and Haley went to Shenandoah. We took the van. And also,
You said the van ran like a champ, right?
it ran like a fucking, spun like a top, man.
Nice.
Like, just nothing wrong. She bangs.
Hell yeah.
William Hung reference. The reason we're not in the van is,
Dude,
it's hot.
It's summertime here where we are.
know.
Summertime.
They already know.
Yeah.
We've
It's
plugged
summertime
our
here in Southern Maryland,
Yeah.
and if you've ever been to Southern Maryland, you know not only does it get hot, but it gets humid as hell.
Yeah.
And as of right now, the van doesn't have AC, and we don't have any sort of portable AC unit or anything like that. So if we were doing this in the van right now, we'd probably be a little naked. I don't have any complaints about that. But
course you wouldn't.
YouTube and Spotify probably wouldn't like it. So we're doing it inside.
We're doing it inside. We're doing it
We're
live.
doing it live. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, dude, you know, like I said, I went out of town too. Went up to Ohio, spent some time with some family and friends. We went to Cedar Point. Fun fact about me, I hate roller coasters. I don't do well with them. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I want to like them. Just my body's like we first ride. We rode the Maverick. And it's not even like close to the fastest ride in the park, but it's a pretty fast ride.
It's got a steep first hill.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. And it's a pretty fast ride. That's where I max out. That ride was it. Yeah. And then we did the Gemini. I loved that.
Yeah.
That was great. Good times.
For the longest time, I wouldn't ride roller coasters with loops.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like the idea of it. And then one time, my brother Joel was like, "Nah, this one doesn't have a loop. This one doesn't have a loop." And we got in line, and like 2 or 3 rows back, he's like, "By the way, this one has a loop." And I was like, "Oh my God, Jesus!" And I just had the worst anxiety ever.
Oh, man.
It was awful. And then I rode it. The loop went fine, and I could ride any roller coaster now. It was never an issue.
For whatever reason, it's the steep drops that really just get me.
Yeah, I feel like you just don't like roller coasters that much. If you don't like the steep drops, that's kind of their claim to fame.
Like in moderation, I like it. And like the Gemini, right? It does have a drop, a couple drops, but they're not, crazy huge. It's a nice you hit it and then boom, you're done. I liked that, but like the Millennium, that's like a 300-foot drop at 90 degrees.
Yeah.
That's a little too much for me.
What do you mean?
A little too much. Or the Maverick, it was only like 100 feet, but it was at 95 degrees. So like you're fucking going upside down a little bit. I was inverted. So, but I'm gonna keep pushing through. every time we go, I'm gonna try to move up the scale, because I would like to one day be able to say that I rode the top thrill too, because I was telling you earlier, dude, it looks fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It looks nuts.
Dude, you just have to do it once.
I was sitting there watching it, I was like, getting anxiety just watching it, knowing that I wasn't gonna be going on it, was freaked out by it.
That's freaking insane.
Yeah, I don't know. Me and roller coasters, we don't vibe, bro. I don't know.
I don't know. I love roller coasters.
Everyone's different.
To each their own.
Yeah. Like I said,
you reffed up there. You went to a couple classes at different gyms.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I went, popped in for a few classes at the gym that I started at, which they also held an in-house tournament. So I guess he would be my second cousin, my cousin's kid.
Speaking of that, we're related.
Oh yeah.
This was nuts.
Yeah, we found this out like right before I went up to Ohio.
I thought you were in Ohio.
Oh no, it was while I was in
he was
Ohio. It was while I was in Ohio. So we had previously established that one of my really good friends, his fiance, is by marriage and a lot of distance related to Jake. And then we found out, going through 23andMe while I was up there, that her grandmother is like my fourth cousin twice removed or something like that. So by some extreme distance in marriages, you and I are related.
I kind of saw that.
Dude.
I saw it coming.
Yeah. Pretty sick.
Pretty fucking gnarly.
Yeah. Everyone says we have great chemistry on the podcast.
Sorry, that's the start of the show. He's that's Korg. That's my dog. You're gonna see him.
That's a dog.
That's a dog. But yeah, we're related.
Yeah, dude. Crazy.
Which is nuts.
But yeah, so the first gym I started at, they held an in-house tournament, and my cousin's kid, so I guess it would be my second cousin. He just started jiu-jitsu like 6 months ago.
Okay.
He's 5, I think.
Nice.
So they had him compete in that, just get him some experience, whatnot. And
Korg.
Corgi, what you doing, bud?
Go back to that bone, boy.
So when I went up, I watched some of his matches. I did get to ref a couple matches, which was cool. And the other really cool part of it was, so this is a House and Gracie gym up in Ohio. House and Gracie was there.
Really?
Yeah, he was there. He was like doing some impromptu private lessons that I got to sit in on. So that was super cool. You know, he's an older guy and he's a OG Gracie, so he's not gonna be around a lot longer, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So it was every time I get the chance to learn from him, I take advantage of it.
Yeah, huge privilege. Huge privilege.
So yeah, I'd stopped, train there for a few classes, and then there's another gym that's up there that I also really like dropping into. They're mostly a no-gi gym, and their room, dude, it's all like D1 wrestlers and shit. So every time I go up there, I get my ass handed to me on the feet. Although I will say this, and I'm 99.9% sure the guy gave it to me, but I hit this gnarly Uchimata on this one dude who was like, he wasn't crazy tall, maybe like 6 foot, but easily 225, 230, like a thick old boy. And I hit this Uchimata on him, and he hit the mat, and the whole gym echoed. And I was like, damn!
Freaking,
So that made me feel good.
Speaking of Uchimatas, my nephew Grayson just started judo.
Nice.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Freaking loves it. Super proud of him. He's gonna be a huge freaking
dude. Judo's a hell of a sport, man. Yeah. Especially, I saw recently, I think the Olympics. So for a long time, Olympic judo, you weren't allowed to touch the legs.
Yeah.
With your hands, and I think I saw something recently that they're bringing it back to where you can do that again. Okay. So you're gonna see a lot of some cool throws really cool and shit like that. Because in my opinion, when they made that a rule, that waters down the sport so much.
Well, then it's just like two guys like kind of like kicking and sweeping legs.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about judo.
Because you think about it, like, gyms, when they train people, like, they're going to train them by those rules.
Yeah.
They're going to train them by that rule set because that's what all the local tournaments and everything are going by. And now you're completely eliminating a portion of the game.
So I got a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, like speaking on the Olympics, do you think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has a spot in modern Olympics?
No.
Why?
Okay. Gi or no gi?
No gi.
No, because you got wrestling.
What about gi?
It'd be way too boring. I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, I know. It would just be two guys like dragging
It
freaking collars.
really depends on the rule set. Mm-hmm. The problem with jiu-jitsu being in the Olympics is there isn't a unified rule set for jiu-jitsu. There's so many different rule sets.
Yeah.
So before jiu-jitsu could ever even possibly be in the Olympics, they would need to find a unified rule set for all competitions.
Yeah.
And even if they tried getting it into the Olympics before, I think they would probably go by IBJJF rules.
And that's just not going to happen.
Which I have zero interest in watching that.
That sounds boring. If they're like, yeah, he's up on points and there's a minute left. Oh, why is he running away? Like,
and they're stalling. They're stalling. That's the only way I see jiu-jitsu in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I have zero interest.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the competition that would actually be competing in the Olympics wouldn't be the highest level.
No,
because
you can't be a professional athlete
exactly
in the Olympics.
You have to be an amateur. As soon as you start getting paid to compete in that sport, you can no longer.
But that's weird because like the athletes, they get a stipend, they get paid to go there, which makes you professional.
So I think it depends on how the sport classifies a amateur versus a professional. Like in boxing, right? Amateurs still get paid for amateur fights.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's a distinct difference between if you're classified as an amateur versus a professional. I think a better sport to be put in the Olympics would be like some form of amateur MMA.
I've thought about that, and really it just like because it would be all to be tournament style, right?
Like OG UFC.
Yeah, and like honestly, at the end of the day, it would just be the Russians versus the Brazilians. You know, it would just come down to that. Because like wrestling, you got wrestlers from everywhere,
right?
Like freaking just.
Although you look at Craig Jones teaching, he cornered Jack Della, who just beat Bilal Muhammad, and that was huge. Completely shut down his wrestling.
At 316?
No, last one.
Okay. Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, completely shut down Bilal's wrestling. Like, he had nothing for him.
And Chael Sonnen's like a huge proponent of like collegiate wrestling is the only way. That's a pretty good Chael Sonnen.
That is good.
That's a pretty good Chael Sonnen. It's the only way you can take someone down in UFC.
I think
that's not true.
The highest level wrestlers in MMA are typically combat sambo guys.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Look at Khabib.
Well, I've seen a lot more judo throws in UFC that have been more effective.
But that's all part of sambo too.
Yeah, that's
because they have the gi top.
Yeah. I just think combat sambo looks freaking goofy.
It does look goofy.
It looks
it's a goofy ass sport. And the couple guys I've competed against that were sambo guys, I wrecked them. But they out wrestled the fuck out of me, which doesn't take much.
Good thing jiu-jitsu is not a.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu keeps going on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see like an amateur MMA maybe. I don't know that jiu-jitsu would do well in the Olympics. I said, I think
I would want it to do well.
Yeah.
But like, look at no. Look at I know this is a weird sidestep, but look at breakdancing.
They already got rid of it.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
gone.
I know.
It's out of the Olympics.
Obviously. You see Ray Gun? Did you see the refugee girl? Good for her.
Yeah.
Let me just say, good for her. But I could tell she rehearsed that for maybe 30 minutes. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Ray Gun at least was like, yeah, I teach it. That doesn't mean I know how to do it.
Yeah, and it's not even like she teaches people how to breakdance. She teaches like the history of breakdancing.
Which, what a cop out of a fucking degree, or what a cop out of a class. That's
talk about like trying to fill your schedule with electives.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm gonna take the history of breakdancing.
I don't even think that's like the class. I think it's the history of like hip hop and breakdancing and stuff like that. But like, I thought breakdancing was cool to watch.
Yeah, no, it was for the people that were good. It was absolutely entertaining. I really think Ray Gun single-handedly ruined it.
100%. However, like the memes.
Oh, dude, goated.
She was memed to death. Like
goated.
Australian people are already just extraordinarily memeable, and I'm including Craig Jones on this fucking list. Like. It's just, oh my god.
But Craig, the difference with Craig Jones is he knows it and he owns that. Yeah.
Like, yeah. But he's just a massive shit talker.
Yeah, he's just a fucking menace, dude. I fucking love that man.
So, new news that just came across. The UFC BJJ.
I have feelings.
You see, it's a bowl.
I have feelings. I have feelings.
I want everybody to go on Instagram and just look at Craig Jones's comments for like the last, I don't know, week.
Yeah.
It is nothing but talking shit on like, hey, you stole that from us. And I don't think the bowl is like the best iteration of it. I think the slant.
Yeah, I think like the alley that they do for CJI, I think that was ideal. Yeah, I've got some feelings about it, you know. So I don't know the ins and outs of how they structure like the contracts and stuff like that for the athletes. If they are exclusive contracts, which I believe at least for Mikey and the other coach, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I think those are exclusive contracts. I don't think the guys on the show, because they're making it's like a Ultimate Fighter style.
Yeah.
And I don't think all of those guys are exclusive. I can't imagine they are.
But like even the rule set in
the rule set is the exact same as CJI. Like, same structure. It's 3 5-minute rounds, 10-point must system in a slanted wall mat type situation. They literally just copy and paste the CJI. They saw how successful it was competing against ADCC, and they're like, "Oh, that's ours now."
Well, I think the reason it was so successful comparing with ADCC was like it was the same weekend.
Yeah.
And like you were guaranteed $10,001. $10,001.
Just a show.
And if you won,
it was a mill.
Shout out Nicky Rod.
Yeah.
It was a mill. Like that was still only thing I'm looking forward to in August.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
Korg, no.
I can't wait for CJI too, dude. Especially the quintet style. Have you watched the B Team Quintet documentary when they went to Japan? Yeah, dude. But so all the shenanigans of the panty vending machine aside, that style is such a great rule set. I like how it's kind of like an open weight type deal too. Like you could have the heaviest guy and the lightest guy going against each other. It creates such a. I heard Craig Jones talking about this on, I think it was on a podcast a couple days ago. And
it wasn't El Segundo. They haven't.
No. He's been doing some other stuff. But he was talking about like.
We need to try to get Craig Jones on that.
Dude, that'd be sick. But he was talking about like how one of the most exciting things, like even if it's a boring match, when you are matching up like someone like Nicky Rod against someone the size of me.
Yeah.
the fact that I'm just sitting there trying to survive makes that match even more exciting. Whether there's a lot of action or not.
Honestly, so I've been saying honestly a lot, and I need to stop saying
honestly.
That. Realistically?
Widowy?
No, but like in one match on my first tournament, and I'm going to try to compete at every single tournament happening for the remainder of the year. But
Good Fight's doing one August 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the good rule set we like.
Yeah.
Whenever I was in gi, and the guy had mount. There's no other way to put it. This guy had mount.
Yeah.
And I.
This is a dude you almost.
I almost killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had me in a cross collar choke. I don't know, but it wasn't like really there. But it was like that was a moment where I was like, oh fuck, this guy could kill me if he wanted. If these guys weren't here, I'd be fucking dead. So that's kind of. I don't know where I was going with that, but like, that's the.
Yeah, I have no idea where you're going.
Yeah, I don't know, but I needed to highlight that. I was getting fucked up.
Which we'll talk about competitions.
Yeah.
Because I've competed a few times since the last episode.
Yeah.
And I got another one coming up here pretty soon that I'm very excited about. I'll make sure to shout that out towards the end. It's a big deal. Kind of a big deal around here now.
Yeah.
Hey, man. The like I said, the 2 clips that got posted of my sub that I had a few weeks ago, up to like 50,000 views now.
That's it's pretty good, man.
Kind of a big deal. What can I say?
Freaking purple belt on the way.
No. Keep it.
Well, you were the one who kept hammering like, I think competition wins should be factored into a belt. Like,
well, it depends on where you're training.
That is true.
And what your goal is to gain from jiu-jitsu. Like me, I want to compete. So, yeah, I think competition success should be something that should be factored in. And then but I think it's all subjective, right? Like, I don't think a hobbyist should be expected to fucking go win tournaments to move to a next belt, which belts don't even fucking matter.
Yeah, that's true. They really fucking don't.
No. Especially, like, we both I think we both, at this point, prefer training no-gi.
Yeah.
And belts don't exist. And most tournaments nowadays, like, when you go sign up for a no-gi division, it doesn't even go by belt. It's just beginner, intermediate, advanced. That's it.
So I'm going to be training Friday.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
You still going to go hard?
Yeah, Friday will be my last, heavy day.
Yeah. Freaking, so let's just get the arena grappling. I don't know if we hammered on it.
We'll talk. I'll go through all the comp stuff right now.
Okay,
All right. So, because I know I mentioned it, we have another episode recorded that we recorded a few weeks ago that my fault, haven't uploaded it yet. I haven't even edited it yet.
Yeah.
But we'll try to get that up here. So I did Tap Cancer out in Baltimore, beginning of May. I lost my first match on points. That was my own fault. I did not listen well enough during the rules meeting and went for a knee bar. And I was told as I was... So I dropped in a K-guard, kicked the leg around to go into a knee bar. And as I was kicking the leg around, I look up at Kevin. He said, knee bars are illegal. And I said, are you serious? And I look at the ref, and he's like... I was like, fuck. So I gave the guy my back by doing that. So I ended up losing on points 5-2.
Oh, that was close at least.
Yeah. Had I known that wasn't legal, I think I would have won. Although the guy was good. He was pretty decent.
What did you take in that? You took bronze?
Yeah, I ended up taking bronze. So after that, I had 2 more matches. Won both of them by armbar. The second match, dude, I got a set up for a cross collar choke, and I spent like a minute and a half just trying to squeeze the life out of this dude, and he just wouldn't tap to it. So I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like grips are gone.
Were you not deep enough?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he just barely got his chin and jaw in.
Yeah.
To where it just.
Could you have switched to like a loop choke or? What were you in?
He was in my guard.
Okay.
And I was trying to cross collar.
Okay, yeah. Maybe if you drew him in closer.
Yeah.
You could kind of.
Yeah, I ended up burning out my grips on that cross collar choke, and lucky enough that in defending the cross collar choke, put his arm across the center line, so I immediately just transitioned to an arm bar.
Yeah. And you got him with it?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then last match, dude pulled guard.
Tight. Love that, especially in gi.
Actually, no. The second match, the guy pulled guard.
Okay.
The last match, I had an Uchimata on him.
Nice.
He ended up rolling me through, and I recovered guard. And again, my grips were still just gone, so I kind of just like hugged his arm to my chest, and then went into just a very fundamental, traditional armbar from the guard, and tapped him with that. I think it was like 40 seconds in.
Oh hell yeah!
So that felt good. Like I said, took bronze. Just didn't know the rule set. It was IBJJF rules, so what are you gonna do? And then
I would say study the rule set.
Yeah, probably. Probably should do that.
Just hindsight.
But then a week later, did Fight to Win 281 in DC. Honestly, I was pretty nervous going into it because it's a super fight setup.
I couldn't tell that looking at the video. if I'm being real. If you haven't seen the video, follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. So I was pretty nervous. Super fight. The last super fight I did, I got caught with a straight ankle lock pretty quickly. So I think that played a big part in the nerves. And also, I'm not gonna lie, dude. When they put out the promo poster for the match, the dude I was going against, he looked
huge,
jacked.
And
bro,
him walking out here, I was like,
oh,
what? Where'd this 180 pounds of chewed bubblegum come from?
I didn't know. The part that really threw me off, he was shorter than me.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all.
Yep. Well, you couldn't tell in the video because he immediately pulled guard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Well, no, him walking out. Well, he walked out first.
Yeah.
And then you walked out. What's your walkout song?
My wife, her younger brother is in a hardcore band called Life in Vain up in Cleveland. Go check them out on Spotify. Those guys are fucking badass. So I used one of their songs, give them a little plug, because it was streaming on Flow Grappling, so a lot of people were watching on Flow.
Yeah.
On top of the ones that were there live. So super stoked to do that. But yeah, if not shorter, we were the same height.
Yeah.
Like he was definitely a lot smaller than I was expecting.
He was bigger though.
He was
large.
I mean,
he cut.
We weighed in the same weight.
He cut. Though.
Yeah, I didn't. But also I had cut for the weekend prior, so I didn't need to. So yeah, went out. Like I said, he immediately pulled guard. Tried going into a leg entanglement. Hit him with...
First of all, with Angelo Martin. Big mistake. Huge.
So watching the video, I kind of wish I would have backed off and tried doing some outside passing. But I dove straight in.
Really? With the result you got? Results speak for themselves.
I had a game plan going into it that obviously it didn't play out. My game plan, it still played out very well for me. But yeah, he pulled guard. I dove right into his half guard. Started immediately hitting him with a nasty crossface to try to flatten him out. He was able to get a hold of my ankle, pull my knee in, and come up on top. So technically swept me into my butterfly guard. I transitioned into an outside arm saddle trying to attack a Choi bar. He was able to roll underneath, but in doing so, I was able to hook my leg into the inside of his arm. So like my shin was sitting in the pit of his elbow, and I kept a really, really strong 2-on-1 wrist grip. And he didn't seem concerned about it at all.
Which you have a 2-on-1 grip.
But also in Nogi, because it's essentially I was in lasso guard. Which in Nogi, it's like, whatever. You don't really get concerned about it all that much.
True, but like lassoing itself is just a really
it's
shitty
annoying
thing to get out of.
But no-gi, it's a lot easier, especially once you start sweating. You just slip right out. You're done. So I had that 2-on-1. I was essentially in a lasso, and allowed him to start passing to the other side. Once he got into kind of like a side mount position, like I said, I still had my shin in his elbow. Was able to sit up, grab the back of his shoulder, squeeze in, hit a nice bicep slicer. I think it was about 50 seconds in.
Yeah.
So that felt good.
Just a shade under a minute.
Yeah. It
wasn't a lot for the entertainment.
Yeah, no. But it was a really cool thing though, like talking to the photographers that were there. Everyone was like, "What the fuck just happened? Like, what even was that?"
Yeah.
Even Fight to Win immediately, like within 5 minutes of the match, posted the clip on their Instagram. Was like, "What is this submission?"
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
That'll inflate the ego a little bit.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think, like, it just rolling with you, like tonight. I think like, not really the arrogance, not like. But
I'm
like
just more confident in my game.
You've been definitely more confident.
I'm more confident in my game because
in your wrestling too.
I know going in, I can have a game plan in any role. But just like I had a game plan going into that match, I didn't at all follow that game plan and was still able to use my own technique to find something. And I'm a sub hunter, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I will try to hit a sub from anywhere. You can be fucking in mount on me, and I will try to find a sub. And I think that's kind of a big advantage for me, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't really think that way, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But obviously, dude, I'm a blue belt, so I still suck big time. I'm really bad at jiu-jitsu.
I don't think anybody's good at jiu-jitsu.
No, I'm terrible at it, and I'm going to be for probably the rest of my life. And it is what it is. I'm going to keep going out and competing and probably losing a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to enjoy every fucking second of it.
I have had a paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it because I enjoy it.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not going to do it because, like, I have anything to prove or anything like that. Like, like I'm coming off of some injuries. Some were self-inflicted, like if you think about it, like no sleep, eating very little food, training way too much. Like you're reading a book and you're like, well, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then it did. So, I'm getting back. Today was my first day back. Gotta say,
you were moving good, man.
I felt good.
And I think the fact that you are not burning the candle from both ends, and you allowed your body some time to recover. I think that was a huge benefit for you.
Like just compartmentalizing certain areas of my day.
Yeah.
It could be as
making
simple as that.
You give yourself time to rest too. You know, like we're young enough that we can kind of really push ourselves through shit.
Mm-hmm.
But we are also getting to an age where it's gonna start catching up with us.
I could kind of feel it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying oh yeah, I can barely move.
No, but I get aches and pains that I never got before from doing shit that I've always done.
I woke up this morning with I used to be able to eat whatever I wanted.
Oh,
whatever I wanted.
I can't anymore, dude.
Dude, I had a salad from Lido's with pepperoncinis, and you know me with pepperoncini peppers. I got 3 fucking cans in there,
dude.
And I was eating them, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, that was good."
Yeah, dude.
Freaking woke up this morning. Oh, Haley was like, "Is everything okay?" I was like, "No."
That was us the other night. We got some pizza, just because way too lazy to cook or anything, and we're both really craving pizza.
I always crave pizza.
I had 2 pieces. Very
modest.
Yeah, modest. I had diarrhea for 3 days.
Dude.
Hey, baby, can I have one of those? Thank you. I can't eat.
You gonna slice one over to me, dude?
I can't eat what I used to always eat anymore.
Okay. Watermelon.
But going back to competing, coming off Tap Cancer Out and Fight to Win, this one I'm really excited about. Here's my little promo. Arena Grappling, Series 24, on June 21st. I am on the undercard. I think I am the 10th fight on the undercard. Undercard starts at 4 p.m. It's being hosted at Eddie Alvarez's Underground Kings in Newtown, PA, just outside of Philly. Dude, I am so fucking excited for this. So, for those of you that have never heard of Arena Grappling, they are relatively regional, but they are attracting a lot of big names, and their format is insane.
One thing's for certain, they got a lot of eyes on them.
Yeah, and they deserve it.
Yeah.
So most of their undercard, so their main thing, they call it their endurance format. So it is 3 5-minute rounds, and it is best 2 out of 3. So if I get 2 subs in a row,
fight's done.
If I get one, he gets one, we go to a third round. If neither of us get a sub in the 3 rounds, we'll go to a 4th round.
Oh, okay. Another 5 minutes?
Another 5 minutes.
Okay.
And if neither of us get a sub, then it's called a draw.
Okay.
So no judge calls. It's sub only. All submissions legal. And it's in a cage. And these guys have been putting in so much work in the quality of the matches, the quality of their production. Their commentators are awesome. The promoters are kick-ass. They just recently launched a subscription service so you can watch all their previous events. The undercard, by the way, will be getting uploaded onto YouTube a couple days after, so make sure you go check that out.
It'll be uploaded on our Instagram.
Yep.
As it's uploaded. So I'll keep an eye out. He'll keep an eye out. He'll probably have better eyes on. So,
but if you want to watch some of the most exciting jiu-jitsu, honestly, in the world, go watch Arena Grappling.
Yeah.
Jack and Porter are also competing on.
Yeah,
they're competing on the main card. So that's one of their other formats that they do. It's called the co-op. And it's essentially a tag team jiu-jitsu match.
That is, you need to break it down because I'm still unsure of what the hell
it'll start, just the 2 opponents in the cage, right? So it'll say Jack and then one guy from the other team. Boom, start, go. It's an hour long nonstop. And the team with the most submissions wins at the end of the hour.
Damn.
And
you got to be exhausted.
At any point while you are in the cage competing, if you can make it back to the door on your side of the cage and tap that door, they'll stop, you go out, and your partner comes in. And so say like Jack were to go to tap the cage, his opponent also has the opportunity to go tap the cage, so they can double tag out.
Yeah. So
to bring the next
let's say you're on the ground and you're kind of working your way over to your side, and you tap your cage, or even the other guy's working his way.
You can be caught in a submission,
and you tap the cage,
and it stops. Yeah.
Okay. And are you still in that position?
No, they start standing.
Start standing. Okay, cool. That is interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
In a cage.
Man.
Cool ass fucking format, man.
That was I think it was Boss Rutan, who was like, how many rounds are there? It was like 1. He's like, how long's the round? 30 minutes. That's one of those. Yeah. Like, fuck.
Yeah, they are going to go all out, and I cannot wait. And then the main event on the card, they are crowning their first 135-pound champion. Dude, it's going to be such a cool-ass event. Like I said, if you're not with it, you need to get with it.
Yeah.
Arena Grappling, Series 24 on June 21st. Watch it. Go follow them on Instagram. Go follow them on YouTube.
I'm on their Instagram. I'm not on their YouTube.
Yeah, they follow the podcast.
Yep.
Anytime they're sharing anything about the event, I'm always reposting it. Dude, it is such a cool promotion, and I genuinely think they're going to be a massive promotion very soon.
I think within 3 years.
Absolutely, if not sooner.
Yeah.
If not sooner. Like one of the guys competing on their next card, ADCC trials winner.
No shit.
Yeah, who is also on the UFC BJJ show.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of their. I think he's middleweight. But yeah, he's competing on that as well. Keith, great dude. His jiu-jitsu's fucking phenomenal. Can't wait to watch him on the UFC stuff. Can't wait to watch him in arena again. Like I said, dude, it is such a cool promotion. I can't wait. I cannot wait to compete in it. Yeah. My opponent, he's slick. Dude competes a utter fuck ton. And I can't wait to just get out there and put on a show, dude. Whether I win or lose, I just want to get out there.
Mm-hmm. It's just rolling, buddy.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just rolling. It's just getting rounds in.
Friggin', that was my big thing. I need to overcome the hurdle of like
putting all the pressure of competition. It's just rolling. And that's all it is. We did 11 6-minute rounds tonight.
Yeah. That was
easy
peasy.
That's all competing is. Mm-hmm. You're just doing it not in the gym.
Yeah. I really like jiu-jitsu.
Me fucking too,
but
dude.
Like my personal life is kind of getting in the fucking way of it.
Hey man,
there's
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
like I think for a while I just needed to get out.
Yeah, I think the break that you took, letting yourself recover, I think it was good for you.
Yeah.
Because jiu-jitsu's awesome, but the rest of life is just as important.
Yeah.
If it's more important.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, 2 hours a week or 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Fucking kind of a big
especially
deal.
when we're working and you're trying to like have a social life. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And especially like we don't get out of the gym until fucking 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. And that's if we only bullshit for 20 minutes. You know? Like tonight.
Which, dude, I'm super stoked. Shout out Jim Thrift, owner of our gym. Hooked me up with a new rash guard for the arena. Super stoked to represent the gym. Hope I can bring the dub home. I'm pretty confident in it. And yeah, dude, I get giddy talking about it because I'm just so fucking excited for it, dude. It's going to be a very, very cool event.
This is just a huge privilege. I think.
Dude, absolutely. Because Jack hit me up about it a few months ago.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, man, I know you've seen me like compete for these guys before. They're looking for more matches. Send in an application. I've talked to the promoters about you. Like, they would love to have you on. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like, why not? Mm-hmm. Why not? And then I sent the application. And then when they hit me up saying, like, hey, we have a match for you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, it genuinely feels like such a privilege that I get to go do a sport that I love in a competitive fashion. And that I'm pretty decent at it, too,
And, like, well, here's the thing. Like, even the eyes on.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, a huge thing. Like, because let's be real. Nobody's freaking like, well, honey, shall we watch the arena grappling?
Yeah.
No, it's just it's just the people in the realm.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, jiu-jitsu's still a growing sport as far as becoming, like, a spectator sport. And I honestly, especially competing with arena, I feel like I'm getting in on the ground level of it. And that's such a cool feeling. I love the idea that I get to be a part of building the sport.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, I'm all about it. I can't wait.
It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Now I will not be there.
And then me and the wife get a trip out of it too. We get to go spend some time in Philly.
Nice little trip to Philly.
Go get some Philly cheesesteaks. Apparently there's a place up there. I'm sure there's about 500,000 places, but apparently there's a really good Philly cheesesteak spot called Angelo's. So I'm gonna have to go stop there.
Oh, naturally.
Yeah.
You Pats or Geno's kind of guy. You Pats or Geno's. I guess Pats and Geno's are like the shittiest places to go.
Oh, really?
Oh, they're just like so publicized,
Yeah.
It's like everybody goes there.
It's like Giordano's or
Giordano's?
No. Yeah, Giordano's, the deep dish place in Chicago.
Oh yeah, that place kind of blows.
Yeah, it's not that good, but that's the only deep dish place anyone knows in Chicago.
Deep dish.
Not the greatest.
Not the greatest.
I like Detroit style.
Oh, I love Detroit style.
Love Detroit
I
style
got a Detroit style pan right over there.
Dude, those are fucking...
Yeah. I screwed up last time. I let my dough prove too much. Mm-hmm. So it was like mostly
super
dough.
Fluffy.
It was super fluffy. But I should have just patted it down once, and it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But, shit happens.
Dude, so you and the old lady went camping in Shenandoah?
Yeah, went
recently?
camping in Shenandoah.
Dude, we went last year.
Yeah.
Love that place.
It's gorgeous.
I've heard so much shit talking about Shenandoah.
Yeah.
Completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's a great national park.
Freaking, we only hiked one trail, and it was only about like a mile, I think.
Right.
Because like we had Korg, and he's older. He's 5 now. Like, he was tuckered out. Poor boy was tuckered out.
Yeah. She was tuckered out.
I took a nap.
Well, that's the best part about freaking camping.
Yeah, man.
Is like you just nap.
Yeah, we I think did a 5-miler.
Yeah, we did a 5-mile.
Okay, yeah.
And it was part of the AT.
In the trail.
That's awesome.
In the trail, it was just rocks.
Oh, dude, it was super uneven, like big boulders.
It was just rocks uphill, big boulders. And it got to a point where I was like, I'm just going to lay in the dirt and take a nap because I don't do this. I don't walk miles.
Yeah, I mean...
I am not this kind of person. I was laying down, hit my inhaler.
I'll be honest with you. I was not expecting it to be as difficult as it was.
It was hard as fuck. It really was. I feel like it was even hard for you.
Yeah, there were points where I was like, oh, fuck, dude.
Hi, guys.
Hi, that's my wife. That's Jordan.
Making an appearance.
Our first guest.
Our first guest.
First guest appearance.
No, we're working on getting another guest on though. Jack, I've mentioned him a couple times here in this episode.
When we go up to a open mat, we gotta bring the stuff.
I think him and I have talked about it previously. He was cool with us doing an episode there at the gym. I think that'd be ideal. I'd love to, go up, train, and then sit down and talk jiu-jitsu with the GOAT, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's legitimately fucking.
He is a menace on the mats. The dude has more subs in competition than your mom's got boyfriends. Dude's a fucking.
What the fuck does that mean?
I'm calling everyone's moms a
That
whore.
could be more than one. Just be like, yeah, he has 2. He has 2.
But the dude is a savage. I can't wait to get him on.
He has like 1,000 times more than me.
I mean, I think the last time I looked at his smooth comp,
he was approaching 300.
So 300. Not all of them are on smooth comp.
Yeah.
But he's got over 300 matches.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's getting close to 100 wins on smooth comp.
Oh, okay. Friggin'
dude competes.
No, it was 100 submissions. He has more
100
wins.
subs on smooth comp.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking dude is a savage.
Yeah. Can we just? This is from my last endeavor. If you put your smooth comp on private,
you're a
right
bitch.
Here, bud.
You're a bitch.
Right here. Okay. What is the point? Okay, if I can't psych myself out, like, oh my god, he's got 4 fucking subs, and he's a white belt with 2 stripes. Like, what's the point?
I will never understand the dudes that put their shit on private. Like, for what? For why?
For why? For why?
The whole point of smooth comp is for me to be able to stalk you, so I can figure out what my competition.
Don't post
looks
a picture, but you can at least put your fucking thing to open so I could see how many wins you have, how many times you've competed.
Yeah,
that kind of gives me
here in the beginner realm. Yeah, that stuff still matters.
Yeah, it matters. That kind of gives me I'm like, if I see somebody on private, I'm like, oh, he's a sandbagger. Yeah, like that's what I think. I'm like, oh, he's sandbagging the shit out of it. And I looked at it. One of the guys on my preview, total sandbagger.
Not surprised.
He's been a white belt for 5 years.
Oh.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, talking about sandbaggers, I'm not going to name names. But I did recently. No, not anyone we know.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Dream guest on my podcast. It's me.
It's Jordan. She's our dream guest on our podcast.
Dream guest on my podcast? My ex.
My ex.
My ex.
All right, JoJo.
If my ex showed up on the podcast, I
think I'd just hang myself.
I would.
But there is a guy I saw recently, and I've seen him at tournaments. I've never talked to him, but I've seen him around. You know, people that I know him. And
in the realm.
For whatever reason, ended up on his Instagram one day. And I scrolled back. He started training. He's a white belt.
Mm-hmm.
He started training as a white belt in 2022. And he is nonstop competing like Jack does. And winning a lot of tournaments.
My alarm bells are going off.
If that ain't sandbagging, I don't fucking know what sandbagging is.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Like when you get to the point where you're like consistently winning, like taking gold in a tournament, like more than 3 or 4 times, like okay, maybe you shouldn't be a white belt anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to compete at a higher level.
Or
just sign up for a higher division, dude. You can do that.
You can just buy medals online.
You can. That is true. And you can also just buy belts.
You can.
I could just buy a black belt right now. And you know what? I'm doing it. I don't know where my phone went.
I did.
Oh, yeah? No, you got to hang it up in the room?
I'm going to hang something from it.
But Shenandoah, sorry, we fell way off track. Shenandoah, dude, I love that part. Why does it always
fall back to jiu-jitsu? Do we have that dull of personalities?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this previously. There's only...
Jiu-jitsu just sucks it out of you.
Well, it's because we're probably a little autistic.
Probably? Somebody said they were close to
it. Don't look me in the eye. But yeah, Shenandoah, love the park.
It's a great park.
Like I said, we went and hiked a section of the AT.
Mm-hmm.
It was a short section. It was like 5 miles. Went down to a nice waterfall. Was hard as fuck. Like I was not expecting that trail to be that hard. Although I will say this, I really want to go hike Old Rag.
Yeah, that's before you leave. We gotta go hike Old Rag.
Absolutely. And then I really want to go up to Maine and hit Acadia.
Acadia, that's a fucking.
It's a hike. Dude. It's a hike, but like
beautiful.
Would be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It would be worth it.
While
we're on the East Coast, or at least while I'm still living on the East Coast, I would like to make it up there.
Yeah, I think that's doable.
Yeah, I mean it's like a 9-10 hour drive. But you take a week of leave.
Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, Japanesey.
Hey, you can't say that.
I just did. We just did our DOD warning disclaimer.
Yeah, that is true.
Matter of fact, the DOD recognizes this. This is exactly what the DOD wants. I am being sarcastic.
Let's preface because we're gonna cut that out.
Okay.
So recently, there was I guess it would be an executive order. I don't know if it was actual legislation that prompted it, but the DOD was instructed to begin separating members of the military that, in the terms of the instruction, are diagnosed or are presumed to or show symptoms of gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
I have quite a few opinions about it, but I'm not going to get too deep into the weeds on it because it's a really hot button topic right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: the military as an institution, the United States military as an institution, we have been struggling to meet manning numbers for years, and
about a decade now. Over a decade.
For whatever reason, because somebody doesn't like the fact that there are people that identify themselves in a different way than their own beliefs. They said, fuck our manning, these people need to get out of the Navy or military.
People that are already trained, People that can do the job. People that have
People
proven
that
that
want to do the job.
That's a huge point. You gotta want to do it.
These are people. So these people that are making these laws or executive orders, this legislation, however the legal terms for it, most of these people are people that never signed the dotted line and served in the United States military. And now these people are saying, hey, we don't want you, even though you were willing to sign that dotted line.
You know,
even though that you were willing to write the empty check payable with your life
to do
for this country.
You know, and it would be something if like the world wasn't going the way it was, but it is, you know. Yeah. And like it's already a very unique kind of person that joins the military. In my opinion.
Absolutely.
Like people that, you know, maybe weren't afforded all the choices and options that people were. People that maybe got shortchanged a few times. Like, but the military itself has always been, doesn't matter where you came from, doesn't matter what you did before.
Because now you're part of this team.
Now you're part of this team, and we have one goal.
Yep.
Okay. Defense of the nation.
Yep.
And I don't know why they politicize the people in the U.S. military so much. Like, and I also don't get the hero worship either.
No. For some people, sure.
Yeah. Like
there are absolutely people that deserve it.
Not everybody was kicking down doors, man.
No.
Like, but everybody had a job to do, and they fucking did it. The main thing is that these people that are already trained, already there, already have their family, like.
Yeah,
opinions aside,
these are
real people with families, people with goals and life goals, and they need a job.
And now because somebody doesn't like the way that they identify themselves,
which I thought this was the land of the free. Okay? We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
You should also say how these people willingly put their lives on the line, even though so many people would not have.
We talked about that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like.
No, you're good. You're good.
But like, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. In
underlined word in that is all.
Yeah, all. And through this legislation, by the way, that was the preamble to the Constitution.
They prove that, in their opinion,
they are sub-equal. They do not have the rights that we are afforded. In my mind, and in a lot of politicians' mind, the Constitution is a sacred document.
Absolutely.
And it is. And it's a living document. We have amendments. We could take them away. We could push them through. The one thing that holds true is that, in my mind.
Absolutely.
They aren't God-given rights.
No.
They made sure to put self-evident, as in any reasonable human being could ascertain that. These are like, these are rights that all people are given.
Yep.
Whether, just because you're alive. You know? It's
and that is not to tie this in with another thing going on currently, but to tie it in with another thing going on currently. That applies to anyone that is in the United States of America. Not just citizens.
Yep.
Not just white men.
Yeah.
It is all men and women. I'm adding that because it's important to delineate Obviously, the language back then was different.
And non-binary.
Yeah, all people are created equally.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's a lot of things going on in our country right now that make it apparent that the current administration maybe doesn't believe in that. But another great thing about this country is that we as Americans have the right to protest, and we have the right to petition. And if you aren't out there standing up for your rights and your neighbors' rights and the rights of your friends and families, then you need to get out there because these are very important issues.
Yeah.
And we are at a very pivotal point, I believe, in American history, and the direction that we go depends on us.
Yeah.
Right now.
I couldn't have said it better myself. What it comes down to is if you remain silent while people's rights are being stripped, whenever your rights are being stripped, there will be no one else to speak.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. I saw a quote earlier today, and it comes from, I don't remember how to say his last name. His first name is Martin. He was, God, I want to say he was a professor. I don't remember exactly. In Germany during World War II. And actually, I did a little research on this today because I was very interested in the quote. So when that party came to power in Germany in the late 30s and 40s, he was actually very supportive of them.
Really?
At first. And then as time went on and the German government was doing what it was doing, he very slowly began to switch sides and became opposing to what the government was doing, blah, 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 going on. Post-World War II, he would travel around giving speeches, talking about his experience of going from that side to the other, and I saw a quote from him, and it was pretty much along the lines of what you said. Gosh, I wish I could find my phone because I want to read it. Oh, it's all the way up there. Can I see your phone?
Hey, can I borrow your phone? I just need
Sorry, I want to make sure I get this quote right because it is a beautiful quote.
Beautiful quote. It's a beautiful quote. No quote quite like it. Nobody does quotes like this guy. Sorry, am I going full Trump?
Nobody does quotes like this guy.
No one.
Can't do a Trump voice. Nobody does a quote like this guy.
Oh, man. You think we're getting too political?
So the quote was called "First They Came." Oh, he's a pastor.
Oh, okay, cool.
He said, "First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. And then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me."
Yeah.
Just let that sink in,
Let that sink in. Knock yourself out. I'm sorry.
Is that potty usable?
That potty is usable. Okay. The other potty is also, but that one is also.
I think it's important to take that quote in with all of the things that are happening right now. And one thing I think that is important to point out as well, I truly don't believe that things are so much worse now than they were 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years ago.
I agree. I
think our access to information.
I think we're just quicker to hear about it.
We're just more aware of it.
Yeah, we could hear about it
which
quicker.
It's important to be aware of.
Yeah, like and I could say this. There's this guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but he got stuck in a cave in like Tennessee or something, and they paused the fucking stock market incrementally to find updates on this guy. Like, is he still stuck in the cave? Like, yeah, he's still stuck in the cave. He died in the cave. Spoiler alert, but it was 100 years ago, so...
That's like, did you ever hear the Japanese soldier that thought they were fighting the war for like 40 years?
Oh, yeah, in like the 70s?
Yeah.
Like, he was like, yeah, I finally... I'm surrendering in the 70s.
No, he never even surrendered.
What?
They had to track down his previous like battalion commander that was like in his 90s to like convince him that, hey, dude, the war is over.
It's been over. Come out. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Jeez. I thought you were dead, dude.
Yeah. But no, like, going back to what we were talking about, though, I think taking that quote and really,
running with it.
Simmering on it.
Let it sit on your tongue a little bit.
Just keep that in mind with all the things that are going on right now. If you aren't speaking up now for those that are being oppressed, who will speak up for you when you are?
So, remember in history, okay, if you can look back and be like, hey, were the guys yelling at a certain demographic of people, were they ever the good guys? Just not pointing to anyone in particular, just throughout all of history. We can talk about the Armenians. We could talk about Nazi Germany. We could talk about Rwanda, which was only 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Look at, and this is something that a lot of people don't know about, look at in China right now.
Yeah, the Uyghur.
Yep. They are funneling the Chinese Muslim community into concentration camps, and nobody knows about it. No one's talking about it. Go ahead, Google it. Try to find something on it. You probably won't be able to find much. But it's happening.
Yeah.
And it's real. And we need to speak up because that is what our duty is as human beings.
Mm-hmm. We're not... Man, this podcast kind of bummed me out.
Yeah, we got a little dark there.
A little dark there.
But you know what? They are important issues that need to be talked about. And you know what? There are people that we know that are going to listen to this, and they're not going to like that we talked about it.
No, they're not.
But you know what? It is my duty as a human being and as an American to talk about it.
This is my opinion.
This is my platform.
You guys are in the military. It's right for you guys to stand up to that.
Absolutely.
And let me just say this: our opinions are as valid and as invalid as anybody else's.
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
The only difference is we bought microphones and put it on the internet,
and you're listening.
Listening to it. So you could like it, you could hate it, you could never watch this again. I don't care. But on that note, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We really, really appreciate it. And even if you never watch it again, just set like a reminder on your phone to be like, oh, the new episode's out. Let me just like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on Spotify. Are we on anything else?
We're on also TikTok. On TikTok.
We're on TikTok.
Yeah.
I got rid of my TikTok.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It was for a reason. I'll bring that up after.
Okay.
Okay. And it's gonna infuriate you.
Oh God.
All right. Because it infuriated me.
Word.
But yeah.
Hey man, speak up for what you care about.
Yeah.
Speak up for the things you don't care about if they're important. Go do jiu-jitsu, drink water, pop a couple Zinnichinos up in the upper decker.
Or don't. Nicotine's bad.
No, you probably should.
It's a nootropic.
Andrew Huberman said it was good for your brain, so.
The guy was a professional skateboarder, wasn't he?
No, he's a neuroscientist at Princeton. He just likes skateboarding.
Oh, okay.
And punk rock.
Punk rock.
Which makes him completely valid.
He makes that.
Yep.
He just went a couple notches up in my belt, buddy. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. Sorry it's been a while.
Yeah, that's completely on us. I'll get the other episode up, and then I'll get this episode up.
We'll
or
talk
the other
about
way
it.
around.
Well, I mean,
Both episodes will get uploaded, and you will watch them, and you'll enjoy them. And thanks for
Or
listening.
you might not.
Yeah.
You might not, but you're still gonna like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Because I asked nicely.
Hell
Anyway.
yeah, man.
You guys have a great day.
I'm Angelo.
And I'm Jake.
This is the Backseat Banter Podcast.
You have a fantastic night.